All right, the question, Mark, you talk about real estate a lot, and I've been thinking about getting into real estate investing. I would like to understand better the foreclosure auctions when it comes to real estate. Can you tell me more about that?
Great question, Rob. Very, very timely, actually, because what we're seeing right now, as you know, throughout COVID, there was a moratorium on foreclosures. So there was not the ability to purchase a property at foreclosure because folks were being helped, right? The government and the banks and servicing companies held back on moving forward on people who were having financial difficulties. So there was very few, if at all, foreclosures. Now, 2022, those moratoriums have been lifted, and the banks have a tremendous amount of defaulted borrowers who they need to proceed forward with to be paid back, in essence, right? So there is a pent-up demand for the banks to start. And the other thing that's really interesting is because there was virtually a 2-year halt on foreclosures, a lot of the investors exited this world. So with the wave of foreclosures that are coming and the lack of buyers in the buyer pool, the investors who have moved on to other occupations, there is a tremendous opportunity for somebody to jump into this space. But a lot of the questions that we always get is, how do you find them, right? Is there a secret list? Is there a list of foreclosures out there? And the simple answer is no. I get this call all the time. Come on, you're an attorney.
Where's the secret list?
You're an attorney. You must be able to know where they are.
You get inside knowledge, right?
That's it. And that is not true. So the advice I give people is what I have done in the past is you go to the Boston Herald, right? On Sunday, the Boston Herald lists in the back of their legal notices all of the foreclosures in the region, basically all of Eastern Mass. And there you'll see the auction companies. So the auction companies are listed. Their websites are listed. I encourage folks to go to those websites, bookmark them. If there's a mailing list, join that mailing list, and stay on top of the auction companies because that's where you'll see them in advance. But what are the risks associated with buying at foreclosure, right? It's a tremendous amount of risk associated with it. This is not the real estate investing 101. This is a challenging space, and the reality of it is if there's an occupant in there, you have a huge risk, right? Because at the end of the day, if there is an occupant there, they are going to challenge the foreclosure, and because of that, the title insurance companies will not issue title insurance. So you are unprotected, and that is a no-no when it comes to buying real estate. The other thing is you're buying it sight unseen, right? So what does that mean? It means you don't get access. You don't do a home inspection. You don't get to see if the condition of what the condition of the property is, if the pipes have burst, if the septic system fails, any of that. You don't get to do that. And then you run the numbers, right? So you want to run the numbers based on worst case scenario. So all of those above, right? That maybe this happened, maybe that happened, maybe this condition is like that. And you run those numbers and you figure out what your top number would be. And what I always recommend people do is to go to an auction without a certified check, without the ability to actually execute on it and see if your numbers actually work. See if you would have been able to purchase the property for what you were looking to purchase for, and see what would have happened, right? Mm-hmm. But then you would go with a certified check. You need a certified check. It's a non-refundable check. And one of the things we always encourage people to do is say the following: is this a first lien mortgage foreclosure? And that's important for a number of reasons, because people always ask, well, what about all the other liens? Well, if it's in first lien position and the foreclosure is effective, then all of the liens below would be wiped out. So it's really important that it is a first lien position. The other challenging part of investing in a foreclosure auction is the fact that you will not be able to obtain conventional financing. So a lender, a bank, they're not going to want to lend to you. It's a high risk purchase, but also it's very difficult and challenging with respect to title. So you would have to have the funds available. You would have to have a pool or investors, or hard money is another conversation. It's privately financed money to purchase at foreclosure. So the barrier to entry is challenging. One of the things we also talk about is the fact that if you go to an auction and nobody bids on it, it then goes back into the bank's portfolio. They call it the REO portfolio, real estate owned. And then it becomes a normal seller purchase, right? So the bank becomes the seller, you get to do a home inspection, there's a real estate agent associated with it, and that may be the better way to go. But if you have that risk appetite, right, no risk, no reward, foreclosure auctions can be a substantial and effective way to purchase real estate. If you're looking to flip a property or if you're looking to hold on to it, it's a good asset class. But it takes some knowledge, some wisdom, and I'd be happy to chat with people at any time. We have the Calendly link, calendly.com/mstyles. Talk for 15 minutes, no commitment. And of course, we have videos on our YouTube channel that go into a little more depth than what we talked about here. I encourage people to go to YouTube at Styles Law and simply search foreclosure, and you'll see some of the videos that we're talking about right here.
Feel Good Friday. We get into all different topics. We always start with positive news, and we help you learn something as well. And I hope that answers that listener's question. Feel Good Friday with Mark Stiles from Stiles Law on Route 139 in Marshfield. Mark, have a wonderful weekend.
You too, Rob.
Talk to you next Friday.
Bye now.